Hey guys. Hey, can you hear me? Oh no.
That's awesome. So I was talking the whole time.
Sorry, I don't know why that just happened. I'm sorry.
So I was talking the whole time to the people, and
he was talking for like a minute or two.
Oh, I got all deep, and I'm like, really.
And start over and take two. Go.
So happy Fukitt Friday. Basically, I was just telling the people, like, dude, we've been getting so deep the past month or two, but I guess it was kind of required, with all the pandemic going on. It was brand new. Everyone's getting a freaking uppercut with that. So we knew people were kind of like feeling all that, anxiety and
depression.
People are getting into depression.
Lonely.
It's going to get worse. It's definitely going to get worse. But one of the things I learned, talking about mental health and stuff, sometimes you just have to fucking be the upbeat person so they can emulate you. Because sometimes you're causing people to be more depressed, when you just keep talking about depression, you keep talking about anxiety. And everyone's just like, all right, dude, enough, fuck. So here we are, Friday styling, and we figured let's have a good time today. What the fuck can we talk about? So what's new with you?
So you didn't introduce her.
Oh,
Hey.
This is Felicity Feline. We've known you, God, I don't know, it's years now, probably 7 years.
Yeah.
Isn't it really? I saw this thing. I'm going to show people. I think this is one of the first time, probably year 2 that we saw you. And it was in Hawaii.
Oh, in Hawaii.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy? I think this was Hawaii. I'm not even sure, actually.
Those aren't Hawaii.
I don't know where.
It was maybe Tampa. I don't know.
Let me see. Hold on.
Oh, I don't know. Where were those?
Where was that?
Wow.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, whoa, that one. No, that's not Hawaii.
That's definitely not Hawaii.
Yeah, I forgot where this was. This looks like
out.
Philly, maybe.
Yeah, maybe that was.
That looks Philly-ish.
Tommy's Tattoo Convention, it says.
Oh, wow. That's Connecticut.
That's Connecticut in 2015.
Oh, 2015? What?
That's 2015.
So we have known you more than 5 years.
Yeah.
No shit.
Wow.
Well, welcome aboard. So, yeah, first of all, who the hell is on right now? Can everyone just kind of tell us where you guys are at?
Where you guys are from?
Because it was so cool, like last week. Yeah. Thanks, Dan. A little fucking late.
Yeah, he was late on the audio.
That's so
funny.
Funny.
Last week we had someone from Brazil and where else?
Brazil,
London, Hawaii,
India,
Colorado, and India. We're like, you're from India? I'm like, that's cool.
Like, who the hell's talking to us from India? Brazil, what else? Yeah, it was kind of random.
London.
It was all over the place.
Yeah.
But tell everyone a little bit more about yourself, man.
Oh, there's not.
There's so much to say.
We're not on start day 1 this time, Felicity.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could call myself a multifaceted entertainer. Work in music. I work as a nutrition counselor. Do different types of modeling. Big outdoor enthusiast. Working towards getting my personal fitness trainer.
And she's kind of all right with the drums.
Yeah, drummer.
That would have been sick if you were playing right now. If you could fucking play right now, that'd be awesome. You're always supposed to. What's that?
Yeah, maybe in a little could bring it into.
Yo, I'm down. I want to see some live drumming.
Yeah.
So what? Actually, Lo. So I know I'm going to tell people anyway later on. Like, what's up with Felicity Fuel?
Yeah. So I mean, getting certified to be a nutrition counselor, like I kind of wanted to create a brand that was a little bit more geared towards mainstream health and fitness. And I still wanted to utilize Felicity because I like the name mainly because it means state of happiness. Like it's actually a noun. So I thought if I combine that and maybe turn it, okay, like our fuel should be to aim for happiness, right? Because if you're happy, then it's kind of the point of life, you know? So that's kind of where I developed that, because I'm still utilizing like the stage name and whatnot. But yeah.
Well, basically, it's your personal brand, right?
Yeah,
you're just kind of
following with it. So
you're just evolving, right? That's all it is. So.
Yeah, exactly. And then so I finally launched my podcast, like a week or two ago.
Nice.
Yeah, so like, and I put that under Felicity Fueled because I wanted it to be a little bit more able to kind of reach more of an audience, you know?
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's going to be geared more towards like health and fitness and music and like entrepreneurship. Like I just want to have cool interviews and conversations with people that have a great story and something to bring to the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good, because most people that get into business and stuff, it should be an extension of themselves anyway, you know?
Yeah.
You don't want to get into business with something you don't even have any interest in. Doesn't make sense, you know? So I know you're a Shark Tank fan, so you're probably there learning some shit, right?
I love that show.
Tell us what's the best thing you've learned recently that you can apply?
Well, we watch it pretty regularly. Like it's like at night usually. You know, when we're winding down. But
Shark Tank addict.
Ooh, yeah. Don't let him pretend like he's not, because he is. After like 4 episodes, I'm like, I'm done. I can't watch anymore. I'm like, can we just watch something not business related?
What she's talking about
All day.
What's Shark Tank?
That is business.
What's Shark Tank?
I used to watch it with my grandma like years ago. It's just, I just like that. There's people. It's inspiring because there's a lot of people that have a similar mindset that I do. Like they want to work for themselves. They don't want to work a corporate job and be disruptive and a slave to the clock. And they're developing an idea and they want to turn it into a business, or they're already a business and they just need help, you know? So they will ask questions or talk about things that I don't necessarily have much of a background with. And so it's just an easy way to like absorb information, but still be somewhat entertained, you know? And so, and then all this, the different ideas, it's kind of fascinating, like what people come up with. You're like, wow, why did I think of that? You know? And
I
knew that was going to be a good idea.
And, you know, it's cool because I'm deep in the startup scene now because of paid exposure and stuff. So it's really exciting. It's like, it's crazy that, you know, getting into the ecosystem, man, and learning all this stuff.
Yeah.
And, I mean, a lot of people don't know what's going on, you know, on the back end. Like, they see Shark Tank, but man, there is so much more to the startup scene. And sometimes the, you know, Shark Tank, I think, kind of goes more into like product related stuff.
Yeah, definitely a lot of it. Well, and not interject, but this is funny too, because the past year I have worked with 2 people that were on the show.
Yeah.
Which was pretty awesome. At this expo, it was like a ketogenic health summit expo.
Yeah.
It was kind of like an intimate conference. There weren't that many brands there, but the brand I was working for, it's called Peely Nuts. The owner, he was on that show and he didn't get a deal, but he was telling me like all his whole experience on it. And just being on the show gave him such valuable PR that like,
you already won once you're on there. You know?
Yeah. And the same with this other woman. It was called Energy Bits. She didn't get a deal either. Okay. And they almost were like they almost embarrassed her on the show. Like they kind of ripped her apart on the show. And she was telling me about it too. And actually she wants to, cause I have an affiliate with them. Like they do chlorella and spirulina. It's like a really good algae product that I take practically every day. And, she's actually going to be on the podcast, I think within the next week or so, but she's really cool woman. But Same thing, went on Shark Tank and got ripped up on the show. Afterwards, like her sales just went woo.
Yeah, I went to this thing before.
It was a year ago today. It came up on the Shark Tank thing.
No, New York. Oh, yeah. Actually, I've gone to a Shark Tank thing before in New York City.
Really?
People basically trying out for it. You saw all these people like with all their businesses and stuff. It was interesting. It was cool. I was trying, like, fuck it, let me try it out with paid exposure. I'm like, this is what I do. Like, why not? Like, you don't fucking know who they pick. But they want people with like, some of them like, they kind of pick because it's so crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they need it for entertainment reasons. They need someone to rip apart.
But it's fun and it's really hard. And the thing for your girl, one of the things that I learned from going through Founder Institute, basically it's a startup accelerator program. Whenever you get feedback from businesses, when you're doing your thing, take feedback as feedback. Don't take it personal. When someone doesn't understand your shit, don't get mad at them. Like, no, what I'm trying to do is like, dude, that means you're not explaining it well. Like you need to work on your pitch. So you always want to take feedback as feedback. And I always relate this shit to people. Like I always relate entrepreneurship with like mental health because basically you're just your personal brand, right? And the same thing about yourself, feedback is just feedback. If someone's, like don't take it personal, like, oh, she's this, she's that. They don't know you. Like, they don't know you. Like
no, I mean I couldn't agree more. Like I think too, like, well, obviously you guys know this. I mean, but working in sales, I developed so much confidence working in sales just because literally like whatever you're selling, I mean, people aren't just gonna buy the product. Like it's your sales, it's a reflection of you too.
Yeah.
And so the more genuine you act and the more just of you that you push into what you're doing, people are more likely to buy it, but there was so much rejection and criticism that I got over the years working in sales. You have to develop a thick skin. And I mean, I'll admit, like, I'm a sensitive person by nature. Like I am. I'm highly emotional and I am sensitive. But, at the same time, I'm very, I guess, like analytical too. So when people are giving me constructive criticism, I really try to look at it like in an unbiased way. Like, okay, I can't take this personally. Like they're just giving their opinion. And some people, especially in music too, that's a huge thing. Like as a drummer and like, I want feedback because like, that's how I become better. I mean, if I'm, like those people that are like, oh, no, you're wrong. Like they just won't hear you out. It's kind of like they usually have some inner conflict going on, like when they can't take constructive feedback and benefit,
Definitely. That's why I was related with entrepreneurship. So to me, entrepreneurs are just people that happen to monetize solutions to problems. Entrepreneurs are just problem fucking solvers.
Yep.
Right? That's all you do. You figure out, how do I sell this thing? How do I get it to market? What's my go-to-market strategy? That's not working. Well, fuck, let me try it this way. That's all it is. And it's funny. I had this one person tell me a while ago, just graduated. And then they go, so what's your next step, dude? He goes, I think I want to be an entrepreneur. Like, are you don't apply for that. You don't think that you're gonna be like, what the fuck problem are you solving? Like, what are you doing? Are you providing a service, product? You don't just go, I think I want to be an entrepreneur, man. Like, that's my goal. It's insane. It's like, you don't just become an entrepreneur. It's kind of weird.
No.
Like, you have to solve something, provide a service, fucking something. So
I think it too, it's like you develop the mindset too. Like there was a point in my life, like I remember high school, college, I've worked so many different types of jobs, and over the years, I just realized, you know what? I mean, I'm a team player for sure. Like I can be a team player, but I really like to create work and money, like by my own standards. Like I don't like someone controlling the way I want to make a living. You know what I mean? I just don't, I never liked it. And I mean, I can do it if I have to, but I'm like, you know what? If I'm smart about this and I know how to create like an image of myself that people want, like I know how to be a valuable asset, you know? And so if you create something that people need and want, if there's a want for that, then make a living from it. You just have to be smart, like how you market yourself. So
and that's where it starts from, right? You have to decide to want to fucking do it. This half-ass in thing, it doesn't quite work. It's the same thing. That's why I always go entrepreneurship, mental health, because be a fucking entrepreneur because your body is your product, right? Like, you know, yesterday or when was that? We had a talk with someone, you know, deep discussion, start day one stuff. And I told him, like, you know, loneliness and stuff. Well, what are you doing to prevent it? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
If you're just sitting there on a couch, like nothing's gonna happen. And I've learned people are fucking insane. They complain about shit they do nothing about.
Oh no,
all the time.
It does. I mean,
But business though, when you see yourself as a business, or when you look at a business, like, whoa, sales are down. Why is that? But people don't do that when their fucking finances are down. Like, whoa, where the fuck did my money go? You know, let me go back and see what I spent on, and then go like, you know what, I got to stop spending on that and save a little bit more and put it into this, maybe invest into this. So that's more like an entrepreneur mindset, you know, but people are just kind of going, oh, I don't make enough money. So
what are you doing about it?
Yeah, no, and I mean, I really think like the greatest entrepreneurs, like it's people that are just highly motivated naturally, like just on their, you know, like those are the best entrepreneurs. Like they don't need someone to tell them what to do. Like they just do it because they want to do it. I mean, people aren't cut out to do that, and that's fine. Like we need people also to, you know, work.
We need the worker bees.
Well, and that's the thing, right? So a lot of times it's a very important thing in the startup scene. It's like, if you're not into it, don't fucking do it. Because you need that type of trait to really keep going.
And you need to be into it for the right reasons too. Not just, I want to be rich. I want to be like, that's not the right reason.
So what I was going, like, you know how many times I should have quit my clothing line? I mean, look at now the pandemic, it's fucking with me. You know what I mean? Like, you're always going to get that, but it's the keep going part. And one of the things that helped was obviously people. But just like your personal self and in your business, you have to be mission driven.
Yeah.
If you don't have a mission, and that's why I always relate it with mental health, if you don't have that sense of purpose, you're always going to be feeling lost because you don't know what the fuck to do because you don't have a purpose. You're just kind of eating and sleeping, you know, like, and that's it. So that's kind of, so what do you see doing in 5 years?
You're asking me that, or you're saying that? You know,
Where do you see you in 5 years?
I mean, you know, I've always had this mindset, I guess, to, you know, I know what my passions are, right?
Yeah.
Over the years, like I like to look at it as like a triangle, right? And at the bottom of the triangle, you have like these things that you're passionate about. And like as you get older and more mature and go through more life experiences, like you go up the triangle and it starts to get smaller. And like the pinnacle, I mean, like the top of the triangle is like realizing like, okay, like this is what I want. So like top priorities are, you know, are at the pinnacle of this triangle. And like there's things that like I can do because I just love to do them. And then there's things that I'll make a living. So over the years, like I realized working in nutrition is something I want to do for the rest of my life, you know, because I love
so that's your thing. You want to do nutrition.
Yeah. I love helping and I love making people's lives better. Like I like helping them reach their optimal level of self. So like they can be happy and healthy and live the life they want. I mean, if your health isn't there, like you're never going to be your optimal self. Like that's
true.
That's a basic
and it's one of those things. Like that's the kind of your infrastructure. Because I believe everything starts from the mind, right? But sometimes the physical affects your mind. You know.
100%.
like everyone can agree, like Felicity's kind of in shape, right, guys? So, so I guess we can kind of believe you, right? Where's that ab? Is there any abs going, or what's going on there?
Yeah, I'm wearing a dress, but
just like underneath, right?
yeah. I mean, like if your brain and your body's not getting the nutrition it needs, like you're never gonna be 100%. Like you can out, you could be doing everything. If you're not taking care of your body, like it's just like a basic equation, Over the next years, like I want to get, I got to finish the personal fitness certification. I'm not really a gym person. Like I'm more of like outdoor fitness and working out at home, but I want to just have that credential under my belt, that. And I do want to get my yoga certification, like just to have two. And I mean, a dream would be to open like a retreat-like center where I could work out of, have my clients, but also have a weekend getaway. People could come and have a music studio there too. Like I think that would be a really awesome thing. And so it's like working in music too. I would love to be able to make a living from that, like solely, that and the nutrition, but I'm very realistic about it. Like, as much as I love playing music, it might not be my bread and butter, like in the future, but like, it's always going to be something I do. So if I can do those, like,
it actually makes sense too. Cause obviously every time you deal with just like that, just well-being, whether it's physical or mental, it's always nice to be able to like, it's almost like you have to take everyone away from all the noise, right? Like, let's have a sanctuary, what do they call it? You go away and freaking do
a retreat?
A retreat, yeah. Actually, you just said it too. Yeah, no, I lost the word. But anyway, like retreat, But that's something we could totally work together on. We'd start day one.
Yeah.
But totally. If that's something that you think you're interested in doing, like, our mission is it's not like one thing. It's like, it's meant to just change people's perspective. Stop dreaming of fucking one day. Start day one, motherfucker. Shit.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes,
I've realized, that to me is like a dream, because I would be able to collaborate with so many people and brands too that like I have worked with over the years, and like even like the nutrition companies that I've done sales with, I sell their products wholesale at the retreat center, and give them the exposure, and then I benefit, and like everyone benefits. And I don't know, I just feel like that would be a great, like, it's like a culmination of all these ideas. And
so one of the things you want to do almost right away before that even happens is you want to get that proof of concept, right? So you don't even need a retreat center in this. Get like a weekend getaway for now, something you could do right away. It just has to be something that's like really enticing. The thing is, you have to prove it. It's basically what startups do, right? You have to start from somewhere, prove a point, because you're never going to get the rest of the customers, and you're going to learn a little bit more. So even if it's just like I don't know, some people will do just like a weekend getaway at a hotel, and then they go outside because, they know the area or things like that, renting out facilities temporarily. So you could totally start off small. So you don't have to have such a big, because when you can prove, oh man, I'm always booked every weekend.
When people come,
the facility, you'll be able to get funding, first of all, for that. And you'll get more confident, because you might go like, shit, I'm going to max out my credit card. Fuck this shit. Because it's working. Right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, I guess like that's what this past year, well, this year, especially like 2020, even the whole Corona crap that's happened, like I'm just taking this time to take the baby steps I need to get where I want. Like, and that, getting the certification to teach nutrition, like that was the first thing I had to do. I did that, and that was a lengthy 6-7 month program, and it was expensive. But I needed to do it, because like, as much as I wanted to be like a registered dietitian, like I didn't want to go back to I'm not going to go to grad school. Like 4 years ago. And like,
how long was that?
What?
She said 6-7 months.
Program 6-7 months, you said?
Yeah, it was like 6 to 7 months, and it was online. But it was just an alternative because like, you know, having just a bachelor's, like I didn't want to go to medical school. I didn't want to go to graduate school. Like I just don't have time to do that. You know what I mean? And so this was an alternative. And so if I have that, my personal fitness certification and the yoga teaching certification, like those three things, I feel like would give me enough respect and, you know, just ability for people to trust me and know, like, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I have to get that done this year.
We have friends that just came back like a couple months ago. They're a couple. They went to India for a month. I think it was a month and a half. They went to India, and it was like $1,200, and everything was included: their airfare, their hotel, and their whole yoga certification. And now they're like master yoga people. And it only took that little amount of time. And they did go to India and learn from, like, you know, where yoga started, meditation started. And maybe that's something you can do because it's quick. You know, it's a lot. But I mean, not now. Obviously, we can't go to India right now. But they did that and they loved it. They had such an amazing experience. It was like really cool for them. And they got all these crazy master yoga Reiki certifications. And it only took them a month and a half. And it was like $1,500.
Yeah, well, that's what I was considering doing because it's like an immersion program, you know, like I was looking into those and like, it's great because you go there and like, you're focused, you know, like if I
no other noise.
And everyone's on the same boat, you know, like.
Yeah, like, you know, if I'm home and I'm in LA, like trying to, you know, to get my yoga certification here, it's hard. There's so much distraction. And like, if I'm only going like once or twice a week, I'm going to like forget half the crap every time. Like, like, you know, so I thought about doing the immersion program for sure.
Yeah.
It's a great way. I mean, to get and bang it out quickly too.
Just to get people involved. So someone asked, what kind of music do you play? How would you describe that?
Well, I mean, with like live drumming, you know, I'm in a couple of metal bands, and then I was playing with this noise rock band. So I mean, I guess like with drums, primarily metal, like heavy rock, you know, stoner rock, like in that realm. And then with like electronic music and DJing, I mean, it's like a mix. Like it's more like techno, trance, but darker techno.
Right.
And then I think a lot of weird trip hop. Like I don't even know how to describe it. It's was like
was that always what you listened to when you were a kid, or did it kind of evolve?
With electronic
music, were you always into hardcore stuff like Pantera shit? Or
I mean, yeah, like my background. Like, cause my dad is like my dad was obsessed with music. He didn't play an instrument, but like he knew so much about music, and he taught me a lot. And we were really into classic rock, like as kids. That's kind of what we grew up in. From there, like I got really into like progressive rock and psychedelic rock, and then I found like metal, and I really got into metal. And this was like early high school. So yeah, I would say like I've always been into heavier rock and metal, but it wasn't until actually though I got a little older I started getting into like electronic music too, because I really love to dance, you know, so it was another outlet for me, and it was just like this ability for me to connect with like my more feminine side, you know, and really, because dancing, that is for me like one of the most therapeutic things I could do. I mean,
therapeutic for us too. So
I know you guys
for all of us watching.
Actually, random, but you know what I was thinking about the other day? Remember Michael Salance, like with the jewelry?
Yeah.
Every day.
Yo, Mike, are you here?
Remember when we went to or I forget what expo it was. It was Chicago, and I went out. A bunch of us went out to this club, and he got so drunk and fell through a table. He fell through a table at the club, like dancing to this techno, and then he ended up getting picked up in a cop car.
That sounds exactly like Mike.
Yeah, but I don't know what popped into my head the other day, like, because I saw a photo of me working.
So for people that don't know, this guy Mike is someone we see a lot at different conventions.
He's one of our closest friends. He's become one of our closest
He's
friends.
our British
So
friend.
awesome.
We see him at fucking conventions all the time.
He's
But
like
that
by far,
dude has so many issues and
he's so
stories.
he's by far like one of the funniest London men. I just like,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He has
He-
so
he-
many stories.
That motherfucker got issues.
yeah, he's definitely.
Listening to all my live videos, Mike. Like all of them.
Oh my god, he cracks me up. It was so fun though, like working through the circuits. I'm trying to remember last time I saw him.
Did you work? I think you worked in New York with him, like
Yeah,
maybe 2
yeah.
years ago.
2 years ago?
Or 3.
it was like one of the tattoo expos in New York.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
anyone watching? Anyone watching? Have I met you at conventions? Like, how the fuck do you know about the brand? That's what I want to know. Okay, can you guys like write in there? I'm just curious where you guys are from.
And
who you're
has
talking
anyone
to.
met Felicity in person?
And can you guys say hello, bitches? Like, you guys want to say hello to her? Be nice.
Anybody have any questions?
Like, it'd be nice if you actually talk to her. You know, like we got a special guest here for you,
Yeah,
for
wiener.
you guys.
I know Brian is trying to. He's like, I'm trying to get on the StreamYard thing because
What are you trying to get on a stream?
'Cause he's
Thing? Just
stupid.
freaking go on.
Yeah, but I just remember when
he said his buddy owns a retreat in Costa Rica. You should work with them.
oh wow, oh
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Ah, got you.
Yeah, give me those connects. I'm down.
So I think this
Connect.
must be Brian. I have a friend who has a surf and yoga retreat in Costa. I'm sure I can get you involved with them instead of a pilot program. Yeah, so that's Brian. What's
Yeah.
up, Brian? I know it's you.
What up, sick bastard? How's
Yeah.
it?
Costa Rica is like one of the that's one of the top places. I never met.
How many proposals do you get?
We've
Yeah, I don't think. I'm flattered. Thanks.
So you have to go to Kansas City and then you can get married to whoever it is.
Yeah. Honest. You know what? Speaking of freaking nutrition, Miss Nutrition Girl. So, my doctor, I got this freaking fatty liver going on. So that's why I'm being kind of weak and doing this move. Fuck you guys. Fuck you. No comments. Anyway, what is your take on the keto diet?
So,
Because that's what I'm on. They put me on a keto diet for my freaking liver and cholesterol and whatever else.
Yeah, he's got high cholesterol and a fatty liver, or had high cholesterol and had a fatty liver. They put him on the keto diet, which is like all meat and fat and just no carbs and no sugar, really. And his liver is basically healed itself and his cholesterol is down.
well, I mean, I have like mixed feelings about keto.
Yeah.
Because you know, doctors first started using it to help people with epilepsy and like brain issues because you know your brain is primarily composed of fat, right? And so when you kind of switch sources of fuel and like you run off fat rather than carbohydrate as a fuel source, like you're less likely to have insulin issues and your body runs, I guess, more stable, you know, because fat takes longer to burn. But you know, the thing is, like, if you completely wipe out carbohydrates in your diet and then like you slowly introduce them back, sometimes your body's like, whoa, you know, it's way too sensitive to carbs. So, you know, I think it can be useful short term. And like when you're constantly like in ketosis, I don't think it's necessarily like the healthiest thing for our body to do.
Say that again? When you're in ketosis?
Constantly in ketosis.
Yeah, in ketosis. I mean, because, you know, I think having some flexibility is good. Like my diet is pretty much paleo. Like I don't eat any grains. And the only dairy I have is yogurt. But
You're a purely meat eater?
I do eat meat. Yeah. Like I eat meat, eggs, fish. I'm really picky about it, but like good quality meats and eggs. But you know, I've experimented and like done more of a keto paleo diet. And like, it works if, you know, you don't overeat bad fats. Like it also depends, I think, on the fat you're eating, you know? Because I know some people that have like gone on the keto diet and they're eating like bad quality bacon and just cheese and like just this high fatty food that's not necessarily like good, very nutritious for you.
They're not eating really good Kobe beef and Kobe steaks. They're eating crappy bacon from the grocery store.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it depends like just what you're eating,
Yeah,
you know, sure.
Organic, all that stuff. See, like so we haven't, I don't really honestly think I've actually gotten him into ketosis ever, to be quite honest with you.
I just couldn't.
It's hard. No, it's hard. I mean, I'm Italian. All I eat is bread and pasta. So I'm like a carboholic, and my cholesterol and everything, I'm fine with as much carbs as I ingest on a daily basis. It's insane. But like, so for me to try to cook for him and to take that all out, it's like you're supposed to have only like 20 grams of carbs a day and 20 grams of sugar. I'm like, I don't know what to feed you. I don't know how to cook. So I know every day it's probably been, since we started this whole keto thing, it's probably been between like 20 and 50 grams of carbs a day. I mean, definitely less sugar, definitely not as much sugar, but definitely more higher on the carbs. But I mean, it's worked. He hasn't been thrown into ketosis. I don't think, maybe like for like 3 days, maybe for a couple days.
But you know,
it's worked.
I'm the same way though. I think too much of anything is just too much.
It's worked.
I think with everything, it's always supply and demand for me, man. You know, like too much of anything, even though it's great for you, could be fucking bad for you. Like always.
Totally. I mean, honestly, I think it's like, for me, like the biggest thing is it's bio individuality, because like one diet's not going to work for everyone, you know, and like some people are some people run better off carbohydrates. Like, I think it depends on your background, like your ability to process insulin and you know, use sugar and carbs as fuel. Some people do great with you know, more like
tired, like really tired lately, like just like physically tired, not just like mentally tired, like I want to sleep, but like I'm like, my body just wants to sit and do nothing right now, because I haven't had all the carbs and sugars that my body's normally used to have.
I can never be strict on one thing.
Yeah. I mean, well, like, I don't know. I think too,
we're already planning our freaking next White Castle run.
Cheat day.
You know?
Next cheat day. We're gonna get
like,
Castle.
We don't fuck around. Like, you know, that diet was cute, but let's get some White Castle.
I think this is the most important thing, is like listening to your body, you know, and like seeing like what makes you feel good, and like when you know you genuinely feel good when you're eating certain things, like then you should stick to that. Like if your health is improving and you're feeling good, then do that. Like despite what you know, some people think keto is the best way to eat. Like and you know, I've experimented with so many different types of eating over the years. Like there was a point in my life where I was like a hardcore raw vegan, and I wouldn't touch
that.
Yeah, I thought you would.
I think when we were in Hawaii with you.
Yeah, I mean,
you were like a diehard vegan then.
Yeah, and like, you know, I wouldn't touch any animal products, and I was literally mainly eating just fruit, vegetables, and like some plant-based protein. But you know, I developed certain health issues over the years, because like I know
your body wasn't.
Yeah, my body thrives off of good quality animal food, and like I need it in my diet. So like, you know, now, and I used to eat so much fruit. Like I don't eat grains really, or like many complex carbs besides fruit, but I was eating so much fruit that I like, and that was my main source of energy, you know? And so I realized like it was kind of messing up. Yeah, like just having so much fructose in my body. And so like I was like not getting my period a lot, and I had really bad hormonal issues. So I started experimenting and like doing more animal food and more fat and less fruit, and like kind of get into a keto paleo thing. And I've noticed like my health is better than it's ever been. So, you know, sometimes it just takes like a little bit of experiment.
This keto thing. So because my doctor put me on it, and I'm like, all right, I heard it, but what the hell is this keto thing? So we kind of just looked into it a little more or whatever. And I had no idea. I thought people were just doing it for a diet, you know, like, all right, what's the big deal? And then I started learning more and more about it, especially it actually freaking worked for me. So
we just got his blood work back like 3 days ago, 4 days ago. And it like his liver enzymes, his liver is basically healed itself in like 2 months.
And my cholesterol was high. So I'm going like, yo, I'm about to eat a lot of meat. I don't know if that's good for my cholesterol, you know? But
we were
hey,
actually afraid.
I gotta
because
figure it out.
His cholesterol was so high, and his regular doctor said no meat, just get away from the meat, get away from the shellfish, like just get away from all of it. Because his cholesterol was so high. And his other doctor said, just go on the keto diet. And we were like,
because he had the same issues.
So his cholesterol's really high, but you want him to go on the keto diet, and they both really fixed itself, which is weird.
Yeah,
it
works. Like something,
It makes me so mad because like so many doctors are misinformed. Like they just, I mean, like cholesterol is caused mainly by sugar and bad quality fat. And then when you combine those two, like so many people are obese and diabetic because they're eating like these processed foods and sugar and high in hydrogenated oils and like vegetable oils. And like that combination is what is causing cholesterol and diabetes, and
I mean, it is also hereditary too. And I think a lot of that comes from his family. It's hereditary. But I mean, in general, like, because I eat worse than him and my cholesterol is perfect.
Yeah.
And, it's just one of those things, like a lot of it is hereditary, but still it's crazy how just switching something just changes.
So stuff is good for your cholesterol. What are you trying to say when my cholesterol was high, motherfucker? What are you trying to say?
Yeah, no, but I'm glad. Yeah, no, that's awesome. But yeah, I mean, I think just like people need to, same thing with mental health, like they just need to create awareness about putting in their body.
Definitely.
So we've been getting a lot of like, actually like different speakers from like, I got some from London, Canada that kind of want to talk with us and stuff. So I'm like, oh, sick. But yeah, one of the things that I kind of mentioned to one of them, mental health is just like physical health, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone knows to diet and exercise. The same reason, the same thing that everyone knows to think positive and think healthy, meditate and all that shit. But people still get overweight or people still get high cholesterol and all that stuff, right? Because a lot of times they just go, what do I need that for? I'm good, you're right? So it evolves slowly. It's always gradual. That's the shitty part about this. Whether it's health, all of a sudden your cholesterol is this high or you freaking gain so much weight, or freaking mentally, all of a sudden you're in depression. But depression doesn't just go, I'm depressed,
I can't.
A lot of times it's a gradual thing.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's so hard to get people to kind of come to you unless they think they need it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think people just get comfortable in bad routines and habits, and then it becomes so normal to them that they don't want to get out of that. Because, for some people, like change is uncomfortable, but like change causes personal growth, like in uncomfortable situations, like getting out of your comfort zone. And I think a big thing too with mental health is just that people are afraid of vulnerability. Like they don't want to feel vulnerable. And like when you're exposing like, oh, I think I might have some mental issues or I need help, someone to talk to like about my feelings, to them, like for some people that can be really difficult and it's like vulnerable. It's harder for them to reach out for help and they just keep thinking into this state that they're used to, and they think that's normal.
It's funny. I remember we were talking, I guess that was last week. We're talking about vulnerability, how it can actually be empowering, like that sub mentality. You know what I mean? We're talking about like, dude, if you just accept your vulnerabilities, you actually get strong. You know what it is? It's kind of like, it's only because we just fucking 8 Mile was on with Eminem and shit. So it's coming in my head. But it's kind of like 8 Mile. What he did in his rap battle, right, was he told the dude all the wrong shit about him. And then he's like, tell them something they don't know. Go. And so he was empowered by admitting all his faults, that he's a piece of shit, lives in a trailer, this, that. All right, tell everyone what's something they don't know. Go. So it actually empowered him because now everything's out. What?
Exactly. And like that brings me to the idea, when you embrace yourself, even the parts that you have to work on, like when you just embrace the truth, that is empowering. Like you're not living in denial. Like
you embrace it.
yeah, you have to embrace it. It's like embracing your demons, knowing why are they there in the first place. Like they're trying to expose you to what you have to work on. And you know, like so many people are afraid to look into the mirror, not just physically, but like what's going on inside them. And I don't know, I guess over the years, like I spent so much time like working on a lot of inner issues that I had, a lot of insecurities, and it was definitely not easy, like doing that. You know?
It's never easy.
It's not, but like, you know, I like purposely put myself in so many vulnerable situations and uncomfort things that forced me to get comfortable with who I am. And so that's why I feel sure, like I have days where I'm definitely not feeling that secure, and I have, you know, I don't have all my confidence there, but like, I mean, I can genuinely say like I'm pretty comfortable in my skin for the most part, because like I know who I am, you know, and I know what I have to work on. I know what I don't like. I know what I feel like, okay, like, but I'm always growing, I'm always evolving, and I'm never afraid to like you said with the criticism, like sometimes I want people to tell me like, well, what did I do wrong? Or like, can you explain to me? Like, so then I can work on it within myself, you know, because I'm not perfect. And I always need to work on things, but being able to accept that and not take it, you know, like that's how you grow. How else are you going to grow?
Yeah. Just like, remember I was saying entrepreneurship, it's just like it's your own business. The only way to grow is you become innovative. You solve the problems, you figure it out. Like right now and I'm glad that you know to yourself, like, dude, I want to retreat in this. Once you embed that in your fucking brain, all of a sudden you figure out the ways. So here's one of the things I tell people at events, right? So when I explain about my brand, I go, all this motivational bullshit is bullshit until you make a decision. Nothing will change unless you make a decision. But once you do, everything will follow. Like everything will follow. And one of the things I've mentioned before about following automatic, like I tell them it's automatic. And the example I set to people, I'm like, dude, everyone says there's no time or money. But when your best friend is getting married, how come you fucking make it? How do you do that? Because you make the decision, dude, I have to go. And the biggest thing that what switches in your mind is your perspective on the situation. Your fucking perspective is, dude, there's a one-time event. I'm never going to be able to, that's my boy. I have to go. So then what do? You make the decision that I have to go. And then everything follows automatically. I thought you didn't have time. Oh, I already took off. Oh, I thought you didn't have money. I'll save for it. How the fuck did that happen all of a sudden? Well, do that for fucking everything that you do, whether it's starting your own business, leaving your bad relationship, or fucking, you know, just doing whatever the fuck you want, really, that makes you happier. It's like, you just have to decide. Nothing's going to happen until you do. So I always push that. You got to say, fuck it. Make a decision already. Because until then, you're going to complain again next week. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And like just accepting too that, you know, you're not going to be able to reach where you want to unless you commit and put the effort into doing it. Like it's the same thing when like you're trying to manifest something, you know, like, man, I have so many stories about like manifestation of things that I've wanted over the years. And like, there's so many things that I got. Like
I've had those experiences. It's fucking kind of crazy.
Yeah, like I put the intention.
Some weird shit too, and I'm like, wait, word. It was,
think about it.
It's some weird shit. I'm going like, yo, man, I really need to talk to Gary V. And all of a sudden I fucking meet the dude. I'm like, yo, what up, dude?
It was like 2 days later, you just like
it was like, one of those weird moments.
How are we in an office together?
Yeah, and then you know, I think too, like I was thinking about this actually recently. You know, as far as like, there's a lot of things too where people when they go through a bad experience, you know, like something bad happens, right? And like that might cause depression, like, cause sure, everyone goes through like life hits you with these challenges, and like people ask themselves, oh, why me? Like, why did I have to deal with this?
Why not? Why me? That's the worst question. Why me?
I know, but like you have to just look at it like, okay, this situation sucks, but I'm going to grow from this, and I'm going to become stronger from this. And, you know, sometimes a bad situation will end up helping you so much more in the long run. Like at the moment, you might be so frustrated and angry and upset. Like you have to like have the hope and faith that like this is happening.
Well, the thing is, with you saying that, you have to choose to make the fucking trauma make you better. It's a choice. You can either go, oh, my life sucks. And here's a little secret. Whenever you get yourself in this why me bullshit, so here's a story. So I was complaining my ass off to Kristen. Like, life fucking sucks. Why isn't this?
I really wasn't having it.
And this is why I tell people, like, dude, living life to the fullest is fucking impossible. Trust me, I do this for a fucking living. And here I am going like, this is some bullshit. Like, fucking this and that and this. And you know what Kristen does? What everyone does. You be alright, you know, like you're cool as hell. Like, yeah, you got this. Like you're a fucking guy. Like you're good.
I was having my own shit too, and I was just like, "You'll be fine."
Yeah, he just did the. Yeah, you good.
You got this.
And all of a sudden, I was feeling better, telling her all that shit. I was, why this, why that, and all of a sudden, she does the motivational shit, and it fucking went right back. I actually got angrier. I was feeling good, expressing everything, right? Because I'm letting it out. And I was like, ah. And then she went, you'll be all right. And I'm like, phew, what the fuck? So I told her, like, yo, babe, next time that happens, don't do that. Because I was just aware because of what I do for a living. And I'm like, yeah, it didn't work. Like, it actually, I was feeling better and it went backwards. So I told her, don't do that again. Just like, fucking hug me up or something, man. Yeah, just hug me up or something. But that whole motivation thing didn't work. So then I started thinking about like, yo, this is what everybody applies. Whenever someone's down, oh, Felicity, but you're so pretty. Like, you're so cute. Your body's killing it. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you got to worry about? You, all of a sudden, get annoyed. And I always tell people, have you ever had a time where you're feeling like shit and everyone that motivates you are annoying? And here's what I found. The reason is because you feel like they didn't fucking listen to a word you just said. Like nothing. I just told you my life sucks. And all you did was, you'd be all right. It should have worked. But the thing is, people, you have to remember, they're mean. What's the word? Like, it's for a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, they're trying to hook you, they're trying to make you feel better. It didn't get to because it felt like you didn't listen.
Yeah. Like it felt like you weren't really connecting to what they were saying. Cause like, no, I mean, cause I feel this a lot because like sometimes, especially lately, you know, with a lot of people are complaining about the whole situation with the COVID-19.
Well, here's,
let him talk.
No, because I wasn't even finished with the thing. So anyway, when I told her all that stuff, what I learned from that was when someone else is doing that to you, or even you do it to yourself, when you ever find yourself like feeling like shit, you go into a why me mode, right? Mm-hmm. I told her like, dude, or I just want to tell everyone, especially people with kids. That's why kids run away from the parents that are trying to, hey, you're going to be the best at the school. Be perfect. You know, they run away because it's like, dude, you don't get my problems. Forget it. And you run away from them. You actually avoid them. So I tell them the question is, once you listen to them, you shut the fuck up. Don't listen. And then you say, man, from your perspective, Felicity, that does suck. Wow. You know, because your perspective is shot. So when you're feeling bad and this, and I'm like, oh, Felicity, fuck, man. Oh, from your perspective, you're right. That does suck. And then you have to either ask that person or ask yourself when you're going through that, now what? Because when you say now what, I listened to all your bullshit. This happened, got it. Oh, daddy fucking abused you, got it. Oh, this happened to you, got it. Yep, listen, got it. But now what, man?
Yep.
What are you doing about it?
Right.
What happens is you go from why me to now what, which goes into a solution mindset.
Exactly. Yes.
Yep. The answer is gonna be like, well, I guess I gotta leave this relationship. Like, it's bad for me, or I have to fucking get a new job because I'm actually not happy there.
Yep.
All of a sudden, you get into solution mindset. But when you just go, why me? Why me? When you answer that, there is one of the best fucking advice my brother gave me when I broke up with someone like years ago. He goes, dude, don't look for a reason. It doesn't need to be a reason why. And I'm like, all right. Like, I don't know what the fuck that meant, but okay. But I looked into it and I'm just like, don't look for a reason, and there doesn't need to be a reason. All right. And then it actually, he changed my perspective. Because when you're in that situation, what could have I done? What could I have done differently? Why did this happen?
Why didn't I see it coming?
And things that you don't need
Anything.
answers for. Like,
No.
you don't even need any answers for, because you're still broken up. Like, no matter fucking what.
I ain't changing it.
Like, oh, I lost this. My dad fucking
Right.
abused me. This, that. It already happened. You're kicking your own ass now. Like, they're not doing anything anymore. You're doing it. So it's like, it becomes now what? Like, dude, well, now what? Like, what the hell are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
And so that's what we have to fucking change people's perspective on. But that's one of the best. My brother, that was a fucking awesome
That was
advice.
Mac.
Yep.
That was Mac.
It was the best advice. Yo, bro, good advice, dude.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can completely resonate with what you said, because I mean, when someone's reaching out and like they're complaining or they're angry or they're frustrated, obviously like it's coming from somewhere, pain, you know? And so the best thing you can do, I feel like, is listen. Like, listening is one of the most valuable things that you could do for someone, you know? Just being able to listen and then empathize, say like, okay.
Yeah.
And so they know, like, you're connecting, you're hearing them. You know, that's what people want when they're in pain and like they're reaching out, like they're acting out. Even kids, like when they're crying and having
especially kids.
I'm saying, like, they're doing that because they want the attention. Like they want they want you to listen to them and see them. So like if you do that and then, you know, they calm down and be like, okay, like, so you're feeling this way. What are we going to do about it? You know what I mean? Like, do you want to stay a victim of your situation, or do you try to resolve it?
That's exactly it. What you just said, if you want to remain a victim of your situation, or like, that is so key. Like, you can either, okay, so something really bad, something shitty happened. We get it. We got it. But it already took that part of your life away from you. Are you going to let it like destroy your entire future too?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get it. Shit happens. You're supposed to get fucked up about things and be sad and all that stuff. But you can't let it destroy your future too.
And see, and that's what I always say. All the motivational stuff, you'll notice this. All this motivational stuff that's out there.
I need more wine.
The only reason you need motivation is to help change your perspective. That is it. Once your perspective is changed, it allows you to make a decision so much easier and more likely. That's the only reason, because once you do what you are doing, or once you've changed your perspective and you make a decision, you no longer need any of the motivation. Like, yo, Felicity, you should really start your own retreat. Yo, Felicity, you should really start your own retreat. Nike style, just do it. Just do it. Dude, just do it. And I don't know if you will. But once you decide to do it, and I go like, yo, you should really start your own, you're going to go, I know, I already did. Like,
exactly. I mean,
I'm already on it. Like, you don't need the motivation anymore. Same thing with losing weight. Yo, you should really eat healthier. Hey, you should really eat healthier. No shit. And
I mean,
once you do, done. No more.
It's the same thing with someone's trying to quit cigarettes or something. Like
that's just a decision. I tell everyone, you're just not, you just haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
When you're ready to quit, then you quit. But you just keep making excuses. And now we're talking about excuses. It's not that it's not their fault, but fucking the society and doctors and everyone gives them the best excuse. Oh, cigarettes is addicting. And now they go, it's not me, it's the cigarettes. It's hard to stop. Like, it's the fucking cigarettes. No, dude, I've seen people just kind of drop it and that was the last one, man. Like, that ain't it. That ain't it. Like I know it's actually hard to get off it. I get it. But you're not off it because you haven't decided to get off it, man.
Yeah.
You simply gotta, I'm not saying stop today. What I'm saying is, hey, why don't we start one less? That's why start day one.
Yeah.
On day two, maybe one less. And all of a sudden you're fucking not going through your pack so fucking easily. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's even like I was thinking about this yesterday with starting my podcast. Like there were so many times where I'm like, why don't I just do this? Why don't I do it?
Right.
And like I just would constantly like make excuses for myself. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I have all the equipment. I know how to do everything. I just like was like, oh, I'm kind of busy and I don't know. But it just took me mentally saying like, I want to do this. I know that I want to do this. I'm going to fucking do it. And so I just finally cracked down and did it. And now once I've done it, I'm like, wow, why did that take so long to do? You know, just like turning on that switch and finally
decided. And all it was, you haven't decided to do it yet. That was it. That was it.
Right.
Same thing with diet and exercise. Same thing with fucking getting that job. What's funny is this, and I tell people this, everyone knows what they need to do to be happier.
Yep.
An alcoholic knows to fucking go, nope, I shouldn't do that. Every drug abuser, while he's doing this, knows I really shouldn't be doing this. Everyone knows. Everyone. People in bad relationships. It's not a surprise like, oh, no way. So it's not good that he's beating me? Really? Huh. I should probably leave. Like, everyone knows what they need to do. It's just that they need to make a decision to do it. That's why I keep emphasizing, like, dude, until you say fuck it, you're not doing shit. Like, you're just going to talk about it. Like, oh, I'm going to start my podcast. I'm going to leave this relationship. Have you really decided, man? Like, are you gonna? Like, you should have just, because once you make that decision, everything changes. And like I said, right? Once you said, like, you know what, I'm going to do my podcast, everything fucking followed. You create felicityfuel.com. You all of a sudden fucking create the podcast system and this, and what do you need? And all of a sudden it just keeps following. That's it.
Yeah. And then, now it's like, oh, wow, okay, I have it done. Now I'm excited. Yeah. It's like, oh, cool, I can interview this person. I have this idea. And like, it's just, I don't know. It's just about, it's like this lock and key. Like once you have the key and you're like, you know what, I am fucking ready to open this door. And like, you put it in there and open it up. And it's like, wow, why was that so hard to do? I mean,
it wasn't. And it was just a decision. Just same thing as leaving a relationship.
Yeah.
It's not a hard thing to do. Like,
people are their own worst enemy, and it's
you have to just decide. And the thing is, you know what I tell people? When I say decide, I'm not saying you do it tomorrow, but I'm fucking telling you, when you decide to leave a bad relationship, everything changes. Just like that. Just like that. Like, instead of fucking, people are in a bad relationship, I'm not saying like, dude, break up with them tomorrow. But what happens is when you decide to leave, they're not as annoying. They're not as hurtful in your fucking self. They're just less because you already have decided. And all of a sudden, you're more open to like real love and all this stuff. For example, a job. Once you decide you're going to leave the job, guess what happens? Your resume goes out. Your opportunities, all of a sudden you hear about like opportunities and you go, wait, where do you work? No way, I'm actually looking for a job. But if you never decided, that would go whew, whew.
Exactly.
All day. Yep. Same thing with fucking relationships. All of a sudden, because you haven't decided to leave, you're just like, oh, in the meantime, this fucking awesome dude is right here. And you're like, oh. Like, because you're just fucking stuck in a bullshit like an idiot, but you haven't made the decision yet. That's the problem. So I always tell people, like, dude, once you decide, trust me, like when you're ready, dude.
Yeah. Real quick, I have a good example about this because the what was it, like 5 or 6 months ago?
Yeah.
I was in my old band, and we were having issues. And for a long time, I was thinking about leaving the band. And like, I don't know, but there was just, like, I felt like they were holding me back, you know, musically. We weren't seeing eye to eye about a lot of things.
Yeah, that happens, you know?
Yeah. And like, it just finally got to a point where I'm like, you know what? After a show, we all got into an argument, and they said they said some really fucked up things to me that like, it was like, because, you know, for some people, they'll stay in a situation because they just are afraid of change, you know, or like they're like, well, I don't really want to deal with like the change, you know, and so they just stay in it. But like sometimes you finally reach that point where you're like, wow, okay, I'm done with this. And like that's what happened with my band. Like it was like they put the nail on the head, and I'm like, you know what, guys, that's fine. Find a new drummer because I'm done.
I'm out.
And that was it.
What's funny, and we learned this about 2 years ago, maybe. And basically what you're saying is, I finally had enough, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Here's what's funny about enough.
Enough.
Enough is a decision, not an amount.
Yes.
You were always feeling it, like, I'm not sure. Same thing with relationships. Man, but I feel bad if I leave. Like
that was me.
Yeah, there it is. It's been enough. Like 10 years ago.
It was enough 10 years prior to when I left my ex, and it had been enough. But like you said, it was just the same thing. Situation. It was like, I feel bad if I leave. I know I'm gonna hurt him. However, he had fucking destroyed me forever. And I had just finally one day had enough. It wasn't. Oh, shut up. And look what Brian just wrote. He said, I was there with you at JP when you made those fucking decisions.
Look at it.
That's right, Brian.
I was like fucking telling him. Oh, God, sorry.
No, but it's just one of those things where I had definitely had enough, but there was one day that I had actually had enough. And it wasn't a limit. It wasn't a number. It was just
a decision.
It was a decision that I was.
And that's all it takes. It's like, and once you do that, all of a sudden, like I
literally woke up in the morning, got out of bed without even thinking about it. It wasn't a conscious decision. I got out of bed and wasn't even thinking, walked over my closet, and I started packing my shit. That was it.
Yeah, like it was just another day.
Like it was just another day.
And for people that don't know, there's a lot of shit she could have packed. Like her axe was fucking like loaded. Yeah. Like
I remember you told me this story.
Shit. And she just said,
I'm just gonna take my clothes and
she just took her clothes. She left jewelry there. She left fucking everything.
I only packed what was in that house too, not all of our other.
Dude, I was like,
sorry about it. I don't want to get into all of that in my amazing past, whatever it was.
Right.
Okay, and just not to interject, but like one huge reason why I love you guys so much and like respect you so much, especially Kristen, like that story. It's just that, you know, not that you're a materialistic person, but like you are so above that because you realize like it doesn't matter how much money, how many possessions I have. If my heart and my mind are not aligned, there is something wrong here, and
something really wrong.
And that's what fucking amazes me. Like, I mean, like that was huge.
It was huge. Like when I say huge, it was like. I don't even know how to explain my life.
This is how you explain that shit. There are people that don't break up with broke ass motherfuckers. And she's leaving luxury. Yacht. Not I'm all right. Like a yacht.
I drove a Bentley every day. I had a Ferrari. We actually had two Bentleys at the time. We had two Bentleys, several Ferraris, 3 Lamborghinis. Private jet. I had a 105-foot yacht. I'm
feeling awesome right now.
You should.
7,500.
Feeling like I gotta.
I had a private chef. I had a security guard.
I think it's when I do this.
I had everything, and I had an amazing lifestyle. I can go spend $1 million, and he wouldn't even have known. Like it was that kind of money that he had. But after 16 years of dealing with him and his bullshit, I decided one day, I was like, you know what? I'm fucking done here. I gotta go. And I literally just took the clothes that were in that house, where I was at the time, and I took my animals and I bailed.
Said,
I
"I'm
left
out."
everything else. I was like, I'm out. Changed my
Yeah.
phone number, disappeared, vanished. And it took him about 8 years to finally get the hint that I wasn't coming back, but I had had enough. But that's what my life was like prior to this.
But-
and I'm so much happier now.
And you know, she always gets kind of embarrassed. Not embarrassed, but when I tell people, but I'm like, that shows such you're like, I don't know how you can't explain that character unless you explain the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, dude, people talk about like, oh, it's not about the material. That's because you never had it. It's because you never had it.
That's because you didn't have it.
Okay, like, don't give me this shit like, because you've always been poor. Like, stop it. You know, but when people that actually left it, it becomes more fucking like, whoa.
No,
Wait,
I
what?
I have so much respect for you, and like, you know, you followed your heart, and like that's such a genuine move to do in life.
Yeah.
You know?
I just was not happy, and I couldn't figure out, I couldn't, no matter what I did and how much money that was spent and all these things that I had and all this access to all this stuff that I mean, anything I wanted, it was just like, I want it. I thought of it. I got it. It was no big deal.
That's insane.
And it was one of those things where, and I always said, I told him in the very beginning, you know, money doesn't buy happiness. It buys expensive misery. And I was fucking miserable. So
yeah.
Long story short.
And that's what's made it kind of easier.
10 years later, here we are.
Yeah. But that's what made it easier, because who the fuck am I to want to be this, that, and material bullshit when I'm just like, no, it just fucking slaps me in the face. Like, what are you talking about? So it's easy to just not take it for granted, you know? Like, dude, like, that's not the end goal. We know people that are, you know, loaded and they're just not as happy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
everyone
Most
knows
people
this.
I know that are really wealthy are not happy human beings. And I don't mean it, and it's not one person specific or like 10 people specifically,
Yeah.
but I like, even from most of them, like from my past, people that I knew in my past that were very wealthy, a lot of celebrities and a lot of professional athletes.
Yeah, we're fuck ups and shit.
Miserable.
Yeah.
Just so unhappy in
People
their
just don't
lives.
know that. People don't know that they're miserable.
I mean, and I'm
They-
talking about like people who played for the NFL, who are in the Hall of Fame, who actors, very, like, if I mentioned their name, you'd go, oh, I know exactly who that is. You would know exactly who they are. These are people from my past, and knowing these people and how much money that they were worth and how much money they had in the bank, they were just such unhappy human beings.
Yeah.
So money does not buy happiness. It buys expensive misery. You just have to be a happy human being.
And that's why I was kind of happy. Like, when she left all that, she started realizing, like
I was able to breathe.
like all these friends, you know, weren't really friends. And so I introduced her to my fucking fucked up friends.
I was a little, I was a little
So-
terrified in the beginning. I was like, oh, this
Yeah.
is what I fucking
But
left for.
here's my move.
I was a little scared.
I'm like, I am not gonna hide who the fuck I am.
But then I
because,
met you and all of our other friends. And
yeah,
I'm
I'm like, I don't have a
fucking.
fucking yacht, dude. But let me show you what's up.
Got a bicycle and a skateboard.
I was like, dude, if she's gonna break up with me for who I am, like, let it be, because I have to. I have to tell her what I'm about. So we fucking, dude, I remember one of the first, there's this St. Patty's parade in Jersey, Seaside Heights. It's a shit show. It's fucking drinking everywhere. So all
From, like,
my buddies are out, and I'm like, yeah, let's go out. Sorry. So we freaking go out there, and I'm just like, she's never been to
Mind you,
bars.
I had only
she never
just-
grew up this way.
Just left the situation I was in.
Yeah,
And
yachts and
it was
shit.
like 3 weeks later, he throws me into this. And I was just
Like, I threw her in, dude. I threw her into
Oh.
a situation where like people are puking. This girl's coming from a yacht, you know, with her own chef, and here I am going, yeah, that's my buddy.
I'm still friends with that chef too, and I love you, Allison, who's out there right now.
Yeah, but it was I don't know. I thought it was cool, and but it takes a lot. You know what I mean?
It does.
Yeah, it's like something fucking. That's a huge move, and it's
It is.
hard to.
it's a really inspiring story. Like your love story is so awesome. Like I remember the first time you told me it, and I was like in a daze just thinking about it.
Well, like you, I mean, you know, but like I don't know if everyone on here knows. Like we've known each other since we're 10. We went to our senior prom together, and then after graduation, I went one way and was, you know, my life was my life, and he went another way, and then he stalked me. P.S. 10 years later,
Stalked
here
is
we
like
are,
a strong word, but she's right.
He stalked. He fucking stalked.
You guys deserve a Grammy.
It's worth it.
It should turn into a movie. Your guys' love story.
Oh, I know. We always say that. It's like it should be like a movie or like a book or something, and we actually
I told her,
we need to write a book. Yeah.
What's the book?
Pursuit of Perfection.
Pursuit of Perfection. We already got a title.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it.
They gotta do it.
I think it's sick.
One day when we have like not 4 businesses to run, like 2 startups and 2 businesses that we're running, and you know when we don't have all that going on,
getting there.
we will do it just for shits and giggles. I think we should just for our own, you know, just for us. But I definitely think we should. But one day.
But it helps. That's
we already know everything that we need to write.
But right, because just that story alone, it helps your perspective a little bit. Do you know what I mean? It has nothing to do with you. We didn't hype you up.
Anyone can get out of a fucked up situation, no matter how much money you have, or how bad or how abusive. No matter what it is, you can get out of a fucked up situation and be happy. You just have to decide to.
Right. And that's all it is. It's like, dude, you just have to fucking decide to. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So that's what she did. And it helps me every time because I'm just like, I just remember like, damn, she gave up all that shit for.
And then like when I left, like literally when I left, like I left with the clothes on my back and like whatever was in that closet and my cats. And I left, I had no money. I left all my jewelry, all my furs. I had no cash. I had no money in the bank. I had nothing. I didn't have a car. I didn't have shit. I was like, all right, so I need to buy a car, buy a house, find a job. I'm like, fuck, I didn't know what to do.
The best part was her friends. No one fucking showed up.
Sucked. All of my best friends that were my best friends when I was with my ex, I do not speak to one of them. Not one.
Isn't that crazy?
Not one. And one of them was actually in our wedding. And I knew the day of my wedding when we were taking my wedding photos, I was like, well, we're going to look back at our wedding pictures years from now and go, yeah, we don't talk to her anymore.
Yeah.
And there was a reason. She was just a negative human being.
Nancy.
We were best friends for 10 years.
Yeah.
At least I thought we were. She was just too much. Anyway, long story short, she was just a very negative Nancy. And I remained friends with her for a few years after I had left my ex, and I decided that she was someone that I needed to just get out of my life because she was still that negativity that brought all that negativity from my past still into my future, and I didn't want that, so I had to just get rid of her.
And that's what's cool, right? Having all that stuff.
Sorry, Chris.
Hey, having all that stuff though, you know?
A little bit. But.
And here I am, and I'm just like, I was glad I was able to give her like genuine people.
Yeah.
Like genuine people.
Friends now. All of my friends now, like my girls, you bitches know who the fuck you are. I love my girls.
Yeah, and it's not
I'm so grateful for my friends that I have in my life now. Like I know that the friends that I have in my life now, I'm going to remain friends for my life.
Yeah, easy peasy shit.
So easy.
And it was just nice to show her like she never had this. And she was 18 years?
16 years.
So she always had like an adult life like that, you know?
Well, I was 18 until I was 35 years old. I was with this one person. So
I fucked that up. Yeah. That's what's up.
Anyway.
Ooh, I'll have a drink for that.
All right. So we've been on for quite some time.
I know.
We've been on for quite some time.
Yeah, we're just happy with you, man.
I kind of got to run. Cause I gotta get some stuff done right now.
Yeah. Someone just had one question. They want to know what your podcast is generally about.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's 3 episodes out right now. Which, by the way, I want us to we'll talk, but I want us to schedule one too. We'll talk a little more about. We'll figure it out. But basically, it's mainly like a focused around health, wellness, music and entrepreneurship, you know. It's just me, just going to be me talking, but I would rather have, you know, guests when I can. So just, I want to have people that have interesting stories and can just share an inspirational fuel.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Dun, 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 dun. All right, so that's cool.
So,
Well,
what about
I
this?
guess. Oh, everyone, 20% off if you use Felicity, because we're going to be working a lot with her and just inspiring people along the way. And so give her a follow. She's awesome. She's just a genuine person. And that's the reason we're always talking with her and just kept in touch with her. So, give her back some support. And, well, I'm pretty sure you're going to see her again. So we're going to affiliate a lot with her. And thank you for watching. I hope you guys learned some shit. And we'll talk to you again soon.
Enjoy your Friday. Have a cocktail. Relax. It's going to be beautiful this whole weekend. So enjoy in Jersey. Finally, it's going to be nice in Jersey for the entire weekend. So get out, have a cocktail, relax, enjoy it, have a great time. Love you guys.
Later.
Thank you. Felicity.
Bye.